Hey guys, okay, so I wanted to hop on here and share a testimony that connects with chapter 8 of the Anointed Arrow. So I'm going to read the first part, and then I'm going to share the testimony that I have personally about God's faithful promises. So chapter 8, it is a faithful God. I cannot express enough how faithful our God truly is. He does not just fulfill his promises to us, he ensures a way through the impossible. He will move mountains for his children as we cling to his word. Hoping in the word of God requires faith-filled movement, though. Saying you have faith is not the same as walking by faith. And I'm certain you have heard someone say, keep your faith at some point in your life. The phrase gets shared daily with no intentionality attached. Maybe you, like most of us, have had a bad day or even a hard season in life recently. Majority of our defense is to immediately contemplate, why me? When we start out with a victimized mentality, we just set up our mind to spiral into negativity. We play a pity party for ourselves instead of seeing what faith-filled outcome we can achieve. Okay, so my personal testimony has to do with when I went to college. Most of y'all know my story. I don't want to elaborate on it other than I went to Southern Illinois University on a full ride scholarship for my pitching. However, I loved to hit. I still to this day love hitting. I asked them in person for my visit, before committing and signing. I said, will I have an opportunity to hit as a pitcher? And they told me yes. Well, through the 2 years, not once did I ever have an opportunity. So in my heart, I felt devastated. I felt lied to. I felt betrayed. I felt like I was stuck because I had put all of my future into that decision. And when I trusted their word, it literally felt like a stab, a gut punch. And so leading into that, not knowing those 2 years later on that I would be transferring to UTC. So during those 2 years of knowing they're never going to give me an opportunity, like they said, as a hitter, I would go home on the weekends and I continued to work. I looked crazy. Yes, I was working on my pitching, but I would always, me and my dad worked on my hitting. We worked on my timing, my strength, my mechanics, all of that. We worked like I was preparing for a game, but we never realized what was up ahead. We continued to just work on hitting because that's what we loved. He loved instructing and I loved to hit, and I was learning as I was processing through it. And so those 2 years, my freshman and sophomore year, I never saw the box. I never stepped foot at the plate to hit. And so as I was preparing to transfer after seeking God, another testimony on that, I literally walked in the office for the UTC coach and I said, well, I have an opportunity to hit, because that is one thing that I do want, and other than I wanted number 4. And he said yes to both. So within the beginning of that junior year, I had an opportunity. He put me in the game, and I had a base hit, and I had an RBI at the same time. Not to mention, the next at bat, I ended up hitting a home run. Then that next game, doubleheader, another home run. That right there was totally God. God had been preparing me for that moment, even though it looked like it would never happen. In those 2 years, I could not see the future. I could not see that I was even going to have an opportunity to hit in a game, in a collegiate game. Never saw that. But I do know God kept saying to me, keep working, keep putting your hard work into that, keep investing. And that's what I did. And even though it looked crazy, It looked absolutely insane for me to be hitting and practicing that when I knew I had no opportunity to hit. But God knew what was up ahead, and I had faith in that. That right there in itself is good enough reason. Listen to God, obey Him, because He has purpose for you. He has a reason for everything. So keep pushing through, even when it looks like it's impossible or like it's not going to happen. I promise you, God has a plan. And that's just one example. I have so many more faithful moments of God working in my life that it's crazy. Like, God has a plan, and even though you can't see it, even when you're working and others don't know, and it's in secret and it's in private, God's going to allow you to surface and explode and grow and to blossom in His timing. You will reap what you've sown. So keep sowing, keep pushing through, because I promise you, God's not done.